Well, it's that time again, Brian. I have switched off the shirts. I've
Oh, look
turned
at
them
that.
down. I've turned them down. Yeah.
Mm,
I,
mm.
I don't know. I was hoping that maybe there would be some colorful long sleeve sweaters. Not the Christmas, no, not the ugly Christmas sweater, but something really
Yeah,
crazy and wild.
the
Maybe
80s sweaters,
80s sweaters. Maybe that would
the
be it.
Cosby sweaters.
How about mohair? Do you remember mohair?
No, not really.
That was before your time.
Must have been.
It's a camel, or I think
Oh,
some kind of I think. Yeah, it didn't actually have mohair. Anyway, never mind. Okay, are you ready to think about Tesla this morning?
I thought I was, but now I'm just not sure.
So last time I checked, I haven't looked recently, but last time I checked, we were having a very, very good morning in the
Strong,
market, very
very
strong.
strong.
And
Yes.
and people had their opinions about what's going on.
Hmm.
Dan Ives said that he thinks it has to do with the change of administration and the things that are happening with Musk and Trump palling around all over the country, taking flights together and stuff. Anyway, and that one of those is that the elimination of the IRA $7,500 discount, which I've talked about 15 or 20 times, but I really wanted your opinion, that is going to help Tesla. Other people are saying, no, that's going to hurt Tesla. And we think that's why the stock went down on Friday, but over the weekend, it seemed to be rebounding from. Anyway, what do you think about the
Sure.
$7,500? Yeah.
So there's a couple things on it. First is that it's not gone yet. And if we really think it's going to be gone in January, that means the next month and a half is going to be crazy boom time for sales. But we haven't seen that materialize just yet. I think the market is confident that even with the deletion of the IRA, it won't happen right away. 6 months, 12 months, we'll have some idea it's coming. That's when we should freak out. The second part to that is removing it is not going to help Tesla. It may help Tesla relative to other EV manufacturers, but only some of them. Uh, Most of the cars don't qualify for it already. So it would only be a price increase on Teslas, not most cars. Uh, so it would level the playing field, but not necessarily in Tesla's favor. And what it would do is put all EVs at a disadvantage over internal combustion, which would be a net detriment for EVs overall. But the market doesn't care about long term ever, really. They really don't. They care about quarter by quarter.
Right.
And the next quarter after that, maybe even one or two more after that, look great. If it falters after that, even better, because the stock market, what they really want is for the stock to go up and also down and also up again. It's the movement where they make money. If everything was just on a slow, steady, if the valuation only changed quarterly, they wouldn't be excited to have you invest in it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah.
you got to have a horse race. So yeah, I think that's where we're at on the 7,500.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I have thought about is that it's not going to be a Biden decision. So Trump doesn't even get into office till the 20th of January or something like
Right.
that.
And
And
he's
then,
already got a very long list of I'm going to do on day one.
many,
This is not on the list.
yes,
I
and
don't
and then
think he
it's got to
said
go
this
through
is going to be
Congress. It
well,
has to
right.
go through Congress. Yeah.
that's that's also true. But there is a lot of things he said I will address on day one. And I don't remember this being one of the ones he said day one. And the list is already so long that yeah, it's not happening in January, certainly. So I think we've got at least two more quarters of it.
Yeah, yeah, at least. And I would say maybe even longer than that. So, okay. So then the other thing that came up, which has gotten a lot of commentary, I would say I saw at least, 20 headlines this morning addressing it, was that and I'm not even sure it's out of the rumor stage yet. I'm not sure that we have a quote or a video showing Trump or anybody in the administration saying that they're going to do this, but apparently, and it makes sense that they're going to ask transportation to quickly, the transportation division department, whatever you want to call it, to quickly take a look at these autonomous rules and develop a set of rules so that we have a national standard. And that seems to be what most people think is driving the market higher this morning.
Yeah. It is the regulation currently is not as strict as you might think, but there's a big overhang there, which is they will only license 2,500 total autonomous vehicles in the entire country. Now, you can get a waiver for that. Some companies already have. And that's not a law, that's just a regulation. You can undo that with the swipe of a pen. It doesn't take an act of Congress, thankfully, because getting anything through there literally takes an act of Congress. It's terrible. So what you got to do is, but I'm seeing a lot of sentiment today saying, "Yay, this finally means we're unchained." We were never chained. This is not the obstacle. The second this works, it's approved. That's why Waymo is and Cruise and Zoox are already operating. I don't know if Cruise is currently operating,
Right.
but they've all been
Sure.
licensed to operate commercially in the US, and not in one state, but a handful, a variety of states. We know that these are licensed in Texas, California, Nevada, Arizona, and surely others as well that I'm forgetting. But this was never the obstacle. The benefit to this, there's two benefits here. The first one is having a national standard would mean no more of this state by state nonsense. If it's approved, it's just approved. And the second one is this isn't really a benefit, but if it's a perceived benefit, that will move the stock. And there's a lot of perception, nearly universal perception, that this is a big bonus, a boon for Tesla. And I don't think it is. Even if we only had just California and Texas, the population of those two states alone is sufficient that while production is ramping, all of the units could go to those two states while the other states get on board. And I don't think it would be an issue. The market for this will be, I mean, not unlimited, but as close to it as we've seen in a long time. And the thing that's holding them back today is that it's not ready. The thing that's holding them back tomorrow is we can't build them fast enough. And so we got to overcome those two obstacles. And the regulatory hurdle was, as far as I can tell, functionally non-existent.
Okay. All right. So then subject number 2, Tesla dropped the lease on the Model Y to $299 a month, which is the same as the Model 3. What do you think about that move?
Yeah, good news, bad news, no news. It is, I would say, good news. When Sandy tore down the Model Y the first time, he said, "I can't believe what I'm seeing. This car is cheaper to build than the Model 3." Now, of course, it was always priced higher because that's what the market would bear.
Sure.
Which tells me that margins are smaller on the Model 3 than they are on the Model Y. So from a profit perspective, if you can just get more units out the door, you're still getting the same kind of margin you would expect to get on the Model 3. And because these are leases, it tells me Tesla wants them back, because Tesla uniquely does not let you buy out your lease at the end of it, which is unusual. Most companies are eager to set a price with a residual value that they'll let you buy it out at, even if that price is uncomfortably high enough that you probably won't do it. But Tesla says, nope, give them back. When you're done, we want them back, whether to sell them or what they've been saying for years now, put them into a robotaxi fleet, which they would need, because sometimes you need more than 2 passengers. Sometimes you need to haul a bookshelf or something that would fit in a Model Y, but not in a Cybercab.
Okay. All right. Subject number 3. Last week we had 2, count them, 2 additional reviews. Very good reviews on the Model 3 performance. I mean, outstanding reviews. In fact, in one of them, they said that it was the best car on the planet.
I think that was Edmunds.
That was, yeah. Edmunds, no, I think that might have been that other guy. What's his name?
Haggerty?
Haggerty, I think. Yeah, Haggerty said best car. Maybe Edmunds did too. But I mean, the best car, period, of all cars, of all vehicles. It was the best car he knew of if you take the entire picture. You and I have talked about this way back before it even came out. We had this discussion about how many sedans are sold in the United States. I looked it up the other day just to refresh my understanding. It said 22% of all cars sold in the United States are sedans. Only about 2 to 3 or 3 to 4% of those are sport sedans. But having said that, the Model 3 can kind of fit into a regular sedan category, even if it looks sporty, based on price, based on kind of the performance of the lowest model. Anyway, I've always thought this should just be killer. I thought it just should be outselling all of these other sedans, and it just hasn't happened. Any thoughts on why, after all these great reviews, it hasn't just taken over?
I'm surprised to hear that it's as high as 22%. I thought it was lower than that. But the sedan market makes up a very broad array of vehicles. There's the luxury cars, there's a lot of the Mercedes and BMWs of the higher end that they're going up against. Those are not competing with the Model 3. Those are competing with the S or X. Then you've got the cheap cars. You've got your Corollas and really Camrys aren't as cheap as they used to be. Your Honda Civics, I guess. And those are not really in the same category. I think the gap is due in large part to people wanting larger vehicles, more utility. But I think the other part is a lot of people don't know that these vehicles are as affordable as they are and as functionally versatile as they are. You've got, if you want to get a bunch of stuff in your Model 3, you can fit it. You'd be surprised. You can fold down the back seats and get big stuff in there. Maybe not two dressers, but certainly a dresser or a bookshelf. I think a lot of it is needing to find the customers. And heaven forbid we consider advertising or getting those millions of people who are now going to shift because of Elon's changing politics. I'm sure those buyers will show up any day now.
Any day now. I'm looking for them. That's one of my theories. So I'm hoping that you're right.
Yes, please
just
do hope
just
that my
visibility.
sarcasm was correct.
Yes, but just visibility. From a pure marketing standpoint,
Butts in seats.
Yeah.
Butts in seats. That's all it takes. It is the most dangerous test drive you will ever take. I was hanging out with my buddy Charlie and I said, have you ever driven? He said, I haven't driven one yet. I said, would you like to? He goes, no, no, I know what would happen. I'm like, yeah, you do. You'd use my referral codes. What would happen?
And he just doesn't want to take on that additional payment right now, huh?
Yeah.
You'd be persuaded. All right. Well, that takes care of the things that were uppermost in my pea brain at this particular time. So we will probably do another show tomorrow.
I think that would be a good idea. On the condition that while we wait around for tomorrow, we both continue wearing the same outfits.
Oh, okay. What a concept. And then if people can't get enough of the two of us, because, we are a terrible duo, a terrible duo, maybe. They could go over on your channel where there will be 2 additional shows. That makes a total of 4 a week. I'm pretty good at math.
You are very good you get a gold star.
All right. Thank you very much. That would be Futuraza. And they can also find you at Futuraza on Patreon, for instance, if they were so inclined.
Or X.
Or X under Futuraza.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you sometimes even make interesting comments on X. I've seen one.
I make snarky comments is what I make.
Snarky. Why does that not surprise me? All right. Well, Brian, thank you as always for joining with me and filling my brain with ideas that I may or may not have ever thought of before. And hope to forget. Never, did I say that out loud? Oh, again.
I forgive you.
It's been great talking to you and all of you.